What's up, you guys? Can't clap too loud because we disturb a lot of the people here in the airport with us. We are live, about to board for this adventure life back to Los Angeles. If you guys have been on Triple M, you know we were here last Monday and still here this Monday. It's been an adventure of a lifetime. Started in Miami, got a Miami house with the team, and then went to Bahamas for a team promotion with the wellness coach on the team that qualified. And, that's applicable to those that do the hard work. Check out startherbalife.com if you ever want to know what the Herbalife opportunity is. But what's amazing is that Herbalife rewards you when you put in hard work, always. So it's been amazing. We're so excited to be back and be with the family. And, we had to get our mindset in no matter what. So we got a great video today that talks about how to never give up. Because I know you guys see us on the promotion. You see the team on the promotion. You're like, oh, man, it's easy for them. They must have got lucky, or they have some secret gene they were born with, or I don't know. But I tell you this, you know what it is, really? They just didn't give up. That's all it is. They just never gave up. Because I'm going to tell you, if you give up on Herbalife, if you give up on your health results, if you give up in a relationship, whatever you give up on, you build the muscle of giving up. It becomes a habit. And on the opposite side of that, not giving up builds a habit as well. And that's what we're going to be learning about today. So anything you want to give them before we get with these nuggets?
No, I'm just excited.
Why are you matching your boy?
He's matching me.
We literally just got a contact off of our jackets. She ran up from bag check-in and was like, where'd you get those jackets? I'm like, got to be on the team. Got to be on the team. And now she's on Instagram and Facebook, and you're still going to get it. Team Still in Miami is on the Zoom. Just saw that. So stay branded was the message. Qualify for everything is the second message. Third message is, let's get it popping. Let me know how these the sound quality is. We're in the airport, but we got the speaker hooked up. We're going to be listening to Never Give Up. Let me know how it is.
Up or down?
Buddy, is that, it's really, it's easy to embrace hopelessness when things seem insurmountable. And yet, it's actually just a matter of time until all of the elements come together for things to be all right. I mean, I believe that, most difficult situations will resolve themselves if you are persistent and if you don't give up entirely. And that's what I never did. I never gave up.
We were forced in the beginning. I wish I could say we're geniuses and say we're going to start our own company. That's not what happened. In the beginning, we went to every single label, and every single label shut their door on us. The genius thing that we did was we didn't give up. We didn't say, because these guys, we use that what do they know approach. We didn't give up at that point. I think that that was the genius thing we did. We started selling our own CDs, and we built our own buzz, and then the record company came back to us. So now we had a different negotiation. It wasn't the same artist label relationship. Now we retain ownership in our own company, and it was the best thing for us.
The decline in my health was a stark reminder that time was against me. Yet despite the pressures on my family, I was determined to realize a lifelong ambition by writing a popular book about how the universe had begun. I wanted the book to be read by millions of people around the world, like a best-selling airport novel.
I did not think it would work. I did not think it would work because basically, if you look at all the other books in airports, there are none like that.
However, I felt sure that the mass market would want to know about how the universe began. By 1984, I had completed the first chapter. I signed up with Peter and set to work completing the first draft of my book. I tried to simplify the physics as best I could, and by the end I was pleased and felt it was in pretty good shape. But Peter wasn't convinced.
I was pretty disappointed. Yeah, I thought this is going to be really difficult.
Lightning did indeed strike, but not in the way that Peter and I were hoping. That summer I had taken a break from rewriting to travel to Switzerland on holiday. But while I was there, I caught a chest infection that developed into pneumonia and quickly became very serious. I was put into a drug-induced coma and onto a life support machine. The doctors thought I was so far gone, they offered to Jane to turn off the machine. But she refused. Finally, Jane insisted that I was flown back to Cambridge. The weeks of intensive care were the darkest of my life. I felt I had always fought my illness so hard that I was not prepared to give in so easily. Slowly the drugs began to work and the infection passed, but the surgeons had to perform a tracheotomy to allow me to breathe, which made a small incision in my windpipe and connected me to a ventilator via the hole in my throat. As a result, I was now robbed of the ability to talk. I faced a life unable to properly communicate. All hopes of finishing my book, and perhaps even my career, seemed to be over. I had enough movement in my right hand to be able to click the computer system and write the words I wanted. Finally, I was free to communicate again. I was keen to make up the lost time that my illness had forced upon me. I had a stack of notes from Peter Gazzardi suggesting changes and clarifications to my book. But I needed practical help with the rewrite at my end, someone who could act as a go-between. After months of work, the rewrite was complete. None of us really knew whether the book would be liked and would sell as we all hoped for. All we could do now was give it a title, A Brief History of Time, send it off to the printers, and wait. But to everyone's surprise, the book sold copy after copy. And very quickly, bookshops were selling out.
When it hit the bestseller list, you're obviously surprised. It was a pleasant surprise, and it certainly was a surprise. I don't think you'll find anybody, maybe I'm wrong, who'll say, oh yes, we knew all along this was going to be a major hit.
I had no expectation that it would be the #1 best-selling book in the world. I mean, not just here, but Germany, Slovenia, France, Italy, everywhere in the world, there was the hope that someone had found the mystery of life.
And from then on, it was just a race to keep the book in print and marching towards 1 million copies sold.
It was very gratifying. You know, in the 38 years that I've been in this business, I don't think I've ever had a book that stayed at the top of the bestseller list that long.
I was amazed at how well it did. I think it worked. He inspired people. He gave people some overall sense of the birth of the universe. And it made this subject become a subject of conversation among people in all walks of life.
Professor Stephen Hawking's book, A Brief History of Time, an unlikely but successful publishing phenomenon.
A Brief History of Time has sold about 8 million copies.
A popular book about his theories is already topping the American bestsellers list.
The hugely successful A Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking.
A Brief History of Time stayed in the bestseller list for over 4 years and entered into the Guinness Book of Records for doing so. To date, over 10 million copies have been sold worldwide. Over the next few years, a lot of fuss was made about my book. I became famous nationally and around the world, as it was translated into 40 different languages.
One of the greatest pieces of advice I've ever gotten in my life was from my mom. You know, when I was a little kid, there was a kid who was bugging me, you know, in school. And she said, okay, I'm going to tell you what to do. She said, the kid's bugging you. He puts his hands on you. You pick up the nearest rock or whatever you can get your hands on, and you lay him out. Hey, Mom! And I did. And I felt better. And it worked. And so for me, you know, that was a great lesson because someone had invaded my space, invaded my being, you know, and was doing something against me that I didn't want to be done. So I took control of the situation and I ran with it. And years later, after being, you know, turned into a product, you know, by a very huge corporation that had their hands all over me, and I couldn't escape it, you know. I promised myself that I would continue to move forward and do my best not to compromise in any way whatsoever, you know, not allow anyone to put their hands on me and affect me in that way. So that's the best advice I think I could give, is just to keep moving forward and don't give a shit what anybody thinks, you know. Just keep moving forward and do what you have to do for you.
Practice faithful persistence. Means never, ever, ever give up. Chicken Soup for the Soul was rejected by 144 publishers. 144 said, we don't want to publish a collection of short stories. The title's stupid, Chicken Soup for the Soul. What does that mean? People don't buy collections of short stories. There's never been, you know, successful chain of doing that. So literally, we spent 14 months trying to find a publisher. And we go to New York with our agent, and eventually our agent gave us the book back and said, I can't sell it. So we went to the National Booksellers Association convention down in Anaheim. We went from booth to booth to booth for 3 days. And there were 4,000 publishers represented there. And we go, would you publish our book? Would you publish our book? Would you publish our book? And we got no, 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 no. It was late on the third day that a little publisher from Florida, after we'd gotten over 144 rejections, said, we'll read it. And then they said, well, how many copies do you think we'll sell? So they said, yeah, we'll buy it. A couple of them said, we'll publish it. And they said, well, maybe 20,000 if we're lucky. And we said, our goal is to sell 1.5 million in a year and a half. Now, have you ever told someone your dream and had them laugh out loud at you? He laughed out loud.
All right,
now, if we had given up.
So let's get it. So a couple nuggets that I got from that. We're going to keep it brief because I know we're at the airport about to take off right now, is I know for me, I'll just speak from my experience, when I see other people being successful, I tend to think about how did they cheat the system? How did they get born with that ability? How did it just happen to work out for them? Because for me in my head, I have to make it okay that I'm not there. And you got to be right. So for me, I had to be right somewhere. But when I hear about you guys, like think about Stephen Hawking. This guy is in a wheelchair and cannot move at all. Got pneumonia going to the Switzerland and started a book. I don't know about you guys, but there's sometimes when if I'm not liking how the weather is going that day, that can stop me from doing something. This guy got pneumonia in the Switzerland Alps, had a tracheotomy, could no longer talk, and was only done with one chapter of his book. That was about a weird subject that nobody thought would be popular. And he said, you know what? I'm going to figure it out. He figured out how to make a click on a button, translate his words, and use the tools he had at his dispense to make his endpoint come no matter what. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if he can do that, I take that as, man, I can do anything. I got an able body. I'm not sick. And I've got so many technology and opportunities at my hands. If he can finish a book that sells over 10 million copies with the click of a button after having pneumonia and a tracheotomy and not being able to move his body, I can at least become a millionaire by helping the world get healthy. I can at least do that. And you got to take it on as if they can do it, you can do it. Do that tracheotomy, 10 million copies of a book sold. Come on, now it's too easy. And I really want you guys to start paying attention to the stories that you hear. Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul, 144 people they tried to sell the book to, and they all said no. Now, you saw Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul as one of the best-selling books of a few years ago. and thought, man, they just had a catchy name and people want like chicken noodle soup. And nah, people told them it was stupid. It was dumb. You'll never work. Nobody wants short stories. But you got to take that as, when I have my idea and nobody believes in me, I see myself as being successful in Herbalife and really changing the health of my community. Even nobody believes in shakes and supplements and being healthy or being active. If nobody believes in it, if you believe in it, no matter what, you can change things. And one day they'll look back at you and say, that was the person that when nobody believed, they still persisted and never gave up, and now everybody believes. That's where the superstars come from. They believe when nobody believes. Nobody's a superstar that believes when everybody believes. That's called a groupie, a fan. So which one are you going to be when you're chasing your dreams? So that was what I took from it. Who else has got some shares, some nuggets? Give me some nuggets out there. Eva, let's get it. Eva, what you got for us?
So the first nugget I got was like right from the beginning when they said most difficult situations resolve themselves if you stay persistent. So as you know, I personally try to not allow blows to take over 100%, but sometimes it does. And that nugget in itself is going to help me be able to remember that things happen and they'll resolve on their own. All I have to do is just keep moving forward and not let that one thing affect my entire, momentum of the way that I want to go, the way that I want to live, what I want to be successful at. There's going to be things that are going to be coming, but they will resolve themselves eventually. All I have to do is stay persistent.
Boom. All you got to do is stay consistent. What an amazing concept. I love it, Eva. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. You don't got to be a rocket scientist. All you got to do is stay consistent. Love it. Who's got a next nugget for us? Give me a thumbs up or a smile. Nugget. Thumbs up or a smile. I'm looking for the smiles.
Yo.
Hit us with one. Let's get it.
What's going on here, guys? So something that I really took away wasn't necessary, because obviously everyone was talking about not giving up and everything like that, but it's about the people that
speak up a little bit more if you can. A little louder, Yeah.
So the thing that I took away wasn't necessarily like a nugget or anything, but it was more like look at the people that were speaking, right? We all know who they are. We all know Johnny Depp. We all know Jay-Z. We all know Robert Downey Jr. We all know those guys. But those guys didn't come out of nowhere. They put in the work. They all said it. They never gave up. And that's why we know them now. So, obviously the main thing of the video was not to give up and never give up on your dreams and what you want to accomplish, because that's what they did. And so if you guys look at them, you guys don't have to like them as whatever, like their artistry or whatever like that, but you got to respect what they did, because anyone in that position probably worked really hard and never gave up at the same time.
Nugget. What you got, Marv?
Respect the hustle. Kind of like this thing. Just keep doing what you're doing, no matter what. Stay consistent, stay on top of your goals. If you got a vision, follow that course. Don't drift off. Don't go anywhere else. Keep going to that vision, follow it, and then be successful at it and beast it. Don't worry about what anybody else is telling you. Worry about yourself. Worry about Marvin's goals. Worry about everybody else's goals. My goals may not be the same goals you have. Your goals may not be the same goals somebody else has. Just keep following your path, and don't take advice from anybody who doesn't have the same vision as you, because not everyone's got the same vision. Everyone's on different paths, and everyone's doing different things. So just grow as a person, no matter what.
Nuggets. Love it. Team still in Miami dropping nuggets on us. Love it. All right, you guys, we got time for one more share. Give me a smile. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to share a nugget. Or what's even better is I get to call on people. Let's get it, Lizzie. What you got for us? As she's doing cardio, I love it. What's up?
Good morning. I was just wanted to, say that the consistency is key, and the morning, nuggets it's like really impacting, you know, and just to keep going. And you know, I've been really, I don't know, I'm like praying about it and stuff, and I've been really thinking about, you know, maybe doing this as, you know, something that I want to do to help people, because that is my heart, you know, to help people. And a lot of people come to me, and I see that, and I remember the words that you guys say, especially during these group chats, you know. So that's something that I would like to maybe consider, you know. So these things really help with, you know, the information and being persistent, and you know, just doing what you got to do. You know, who cares who doesn't believe in you? Like, you know, you made me laugh because my husband is not a big believer of it, but he sees the results, you know, and it's awesome, you know.
Let's get it. I love it, Lizzie. Getting your belief from others in an amazing way. And I really acknowledge you for being on cardio, doing it in the middle of cardio, sharing, out of breath, because cardio is, you're killing it right now, but say, hey, I'm going to share no matter what. I'm going to tell you guys, that's what it is. People are looking at me crazy right now because I'm doing this in the middle of the airport. If you care what people think, then you are not going to be successful. Because I'm on Triple M. I say I'm going to do this every single Monday because I want to be consistent for you guys. For you guys to know that you guys can be consistent in what you do. Because I said, unless I'm on a plane and I can't get off or have Wi-Fi, I'm going to do it. We about to board right now. So I do that because I made a promise to myself and to others. And that's all it is. People can look at you and say, what's he doing? We're doing a motivation call. It's awesome. And that's all. It's not weird. But what are you not doing because you think people might look at you away, or they might say something, or maybe they've already said something? So we in the airport getting it in. Let's get it. This is life, baby. All right, y'all. So we about to board this plane. Love you guys. Have an amazing, amazing week. I don't think this is going to upload before we get on plane, but I'll upload it when we get to LA. You guys, beast this life, beast this week. We're about to start a brand new month. We'll finish off February strong. And there, she wanted to come now. She didn't want to come earlier because she didn't want to look weird. I'll look weird by myself. I'm waiting for our ticket. It's all right. Love you, boo. All right, you guys. Have an amazing, amazing day. I'm going to take everybody off mute for 1 second. Give us some energy, y'all. Where y'all at?
Woo! Let's get it! Hey!
Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all have a great one.